Thank you, Gareth, and thank you to the organisers for inviting me to speak. I'll keep this very brief because folks have already said just about everything I was going to say. So I want to talk briefly about building solidarity from the grassroots up, really from union branches up. And I have to say I'm inspired by Becky Croker's example from the RMT. That was great. What are we building solidarity against? What's it for? It's to oppose a system of capitalist authoritarianism that is embellished by surveillance techniques developed both in the West and mainland China. We're seeing the fruit of these developments in Xinjiang and now in Hong Kong with the national security law, which undoubtedly, as Ayen, as Li Shuk-yen and others have pointed out. Great to see you, by the way, Ayen, again. Have pointed out that this is the national security law is essentially a retaliation. Its short-term aim is to crush protest in Hong Kong. Its mid-term aim is probably to rule out anti-Beijing candidates in the forthcoming elections, and its long-term aim is to ensure the in inverted commas, seamless integration of mainland China with Hong Kong in 23 years' time. So national security law in Hong Kong. What is Hong Kong society? I mean, many folks here maybe not have visited Hong Kong. I lived there for 10 years and I'm proud to say I remain a permanent citizen of Hong Kong. Hong Kong is essentially a triangle of power between Beijing government, Hong Kong government, and big capital, shall we say. By far the weakest of those three points is the Hong Kong government. The most powerful are capital and Beijing. We have seen what Beijing's game. They've made their intentions very clear. We in the organized labor movement, we are best placed to respond to this form of authoritarian capitalism. In Hong Kong now, we may be at a crucial moment. In Hong Kong, over the last 6 months or more, we've seen out of the movement, we've seen a wave of unionization. Hundreds of new unions have emerged. I know that HKCTU, which Ayen heads up, has been doing its best to work with these new unions to educate them on trade union law, contract rights, etc. But there's an internationalist role to this. And the reason that it's an internationalist role is not actually just about Hong Kong and Beijing. We are seeing a wave of right-wing populist authoritarianism across the world, as Julie and others have referred to. Have no mistake, China is a capitalist power in which fits into this wave of right-wing authoritarianism very neatly. Xi fits with Duterte, fits with Erdogan, fits with Trump, fits with Bolsonaro. Obviously, there are differences on the ground, but this is the wave that we are faced with. It is an international struggle, and Hong Kong is at the heart of that, surely. On the ground, as I said already, I think Becky's initiative was fantastic in the RMT. In the UCU, we have passed the motion at SOAS. It's a form. It's something that I intend to build with other UCU activists that we have. That we are in contact with. We will do that. The aim will be, and I think the aim of all grassroots unionists or sector branch level unionists should be to build up a momentum or a voice where the trade union leaders in our unions should respond and start issuing statements revealing and condemning what is going on in Hong Kong. I could go on for ages on this, but I'll leave it at that. It's so important that the voice of organized labor and indeed of labor itself is heard in this struggle. It's absolutely central. Otherwise, we're going to lose it to the xenophobes on the far right. Thank you.